You are not a Jedi yet. Touche. On the road to riches, I see dollar signs in my head. Lights don't talk about my past. Cause it's dark for my bitch. Right, came a long way from them long days, long nights. Sell life, I'm on champagne with the flutes too. Chardonnay on crushed ice. I'm on the road to riches. Gone. On the road to riches. On the road to riches. See my niggas on this road to riches. Gone. On the road to riches. On the road to riches. Look back, so watch me get it. On the road to riches, I see dollar signs in my aviators. White man, see through these haters. Only thing that I can see is paper. Told these niggas that I catch them later. On the cool, they never call me later. On the cool, I use a calculator and a bad bitch for some sex favors. On the road to riches, I started off in the hoopty. Real talk, I ain't had shit but a bunch of clothes in my back seat. Now looking here, I can't be pushing. Coop only got 2 seats. Daughter sitting on the peace side, got these topping hoes looking mad at me. On the road to riches, it rain dollar signs on my windshield. I'm blowing money out the AC. I like how's that wind feel. Couple niggas in the pen still. That's okay, I'ma shoot something. Couple pictures in a letter too. Like, look, bro, we getting money. I'm on the road to riches. I see dollar signs in my head. Lights don't talk about my past. Cause it's dark for my bitch. Right, came a long way from them long days, long nights. Sell life, I'm on champagne with the flutes too. Chardonnay on crushed ice. I'm on the road to riches. Gone. On the road to riches. On the road to riches. See my niggas on this road to riches. Gone. On the road to riches. On the road to riches. Look back, so watch me get it. On the road to the riches. Same road as them bitches. They be selling they pussy, but how can we judge them? They just trying to get it. Everybody on the streets on a mission. More traffic than New York rush hour conditions. The police be tripping, pickpocketers picking little dobo and selling little jack. All them slipping. They vibe that you run when them choppers is ripping, but please run the right way. I seen a lot of niggas turn around. I'd rather go through the gunplay. I'd rather walk through the fire. Jump over hurdles is dangerous. Sleep in the den with the lions. Eat with the pack of hyenas. Work to the famous. My niggas been starving. Focusing hard on finishing what we have started. I seen niggas take detours. That mean they dilly departed. You can't be weak in the hard shit. This is the path to the Spartans. This is the road to the riches. Concrete on the red carpet. On the road to riches. I see dollar signs in my head. Lights don't talk about my past. Cause it's dark for my bitch. Right, came a long way from them long days, long nights. Sell life, I'm on champagne with the flutes too. Chardonnay on crushed ice. I'm on the road to riches. Gone. On the road to riches. On the road to riches. See my niggas on this road to riches. Gone. On the road to riches. On the road to riches. Look back, so watch me get it.
Purchase your track today.
What's good? What's good? Y'all pop in. Come on in here. You watching Real in the Field, Panther Takes Debates. Real talk with real Panther fans. Pop in here and holler at me. We heavy on the takes, heavy on the debates. But I'm real heavy on the listening. And this right here is going to be a listen for y'all, man. So all I ask is just listen to this one. Sit back and just listen. This is for everybody. Listen, everybody. If you a Bryce Young fan, you one of these guys who over the years has been complaining about what he's lacked in the weapons department, this one's for you. Listen. Or if you're a Bryce Young hater, a quote-unquote Bryce Young hater, even though I've been put in that box myself. But if you one of these guys who don't believe in Bryce, You don't see the potential. You don't think he could be a franchise quarterback or a top tier quarterback in this league. You don't think he can live up to the expectations of a number one overall pick. This one's for you too. Listen. And this one is especially for anybody who calls me a Bryce Young hater. For anybody who actually listened to what come out my mouth when I speak about Bryce Young. Any of y'all that feel any type of way about anything I ever said about Bryce Young, this is definitely for you. Listen. Hear straight from a dragon's mouth. Now, right now, we are in the midst, we got all the Haynes Kings, all the noise going on about that. And now there's a big debate out here in the community about that. But see, I'm not caught up in that. I'm not caught up in that. And this is for you, the ones who think I'm a Bryce hater. Or if you think anybody out here who's had anything, unfair to say about Bryce, if you consider anybody like that a hater. This is for you, dog. So this one, this is I believe, with all the Haynes King talk and everybody saying, I guess the Bryce haters are saying Bryce is in trouble. And the Bryce fans feel like he's safe, he's good. Haynes King is not a threat. Like, I'm not worried about none of that because come game one, Bryce Young is gonna be the quarterback under center. It's not gonna be Haynes King. Haynes King can go out there and throw 300 yards a game for the rest of the preseason. He's still not going to walk out a day one starter, not if Bryce Young is healthy. So I've been sitting back for the longest, for years, going on 4 years now, trying to figure out why the hell we still have a bottom ranked passing game. And this is for you Bryce fans, right? Because you guys get upset when I mention that we have a bottom ranked passing game. You think it's Bryce hate. Well, it's not, but you have to look at the quarterback and analyze the situation, try to figure out what's going on. Now we've upgraded the talent around him throughout the years. Say whatever you want to say about the rookie year, about year 2, year 3, whatever. We have upgraded the talent around him. As far as weapons go, the O-line has been solid, more than solid, protection-wise, and we still haven't seen the passing game take a leap. And when I hear the Bryce Young fans, y'all get to making these excuses or the reasons, whatever y'all want to call it. Like I rarely hear y'all complain, about this particular weapon that Bryce Young desperately needs. And I feel like if you're a Bryce Young fan, you should know who Bryce Young is. You should know his game. And I ain't no rocket science. I ain't some guru. I ain't some know-it-all. But it ain't hard to see what the solution might be, man. And this is where Jonathan Brooks enters the conversation. Now, we all know Jonathan Brooks is coming off 2 ACL tears. We all know that. He's been through a lot. You know, we don't know what type of player he is. You know, we don't know how that knee's gonna hold up. Only thing we could do is hope that he stays healthy. But if Jonathan Brooks is anything close to the back that he was coming out of Texas, we're good. And I think some of the criticism has been a little unfair. Granted, some of it warranted, like I said, coming off 2 ATL tears, but I think a lot of fans have written him off. I think a lot of fans don't understand who he is. You know, like, because a lot of you guys, you Bryce fans, y'all talk about what Bryce has been through, getting benched and bouncing back from that. You know, Jonathan Brooks, prior to his 2 ACL tears, you know, he lost his dad back in 2022, which broke him down. But at the same time, it fuels him, which is why you see him tap into that forearm when he scores a touchdown to honor his late father. That fuels him, man. So I don't think this dude is going to let, you know, these 2 ATLs, you know, these 2 injuries, you know, stop him. I did my homework on him, man. He's cut right. He got the intangibles you want, the work ethic. You know, I believe when he step on that field, he's gonna be fueled and he's gonna play with a purpose. And as Panther fans, I mean, I don't know how y'all can't root for that, man. I don't know how you can't root for that, man. But on the field, I think people have forgotten, you know, the level of talent that Jonathan Brooks is. People have forgotten that this guy was the top running back coming out of that draft. And had that injury not occurred, he would have been a first round pick. I think people forgot that. When we drafted Jonathan Brooks, I thought he could be a top 5 back in the league if he remained healthy. I thought he had potential to be a top 5 back in the league. But he tore his knee up again, and that set him back. And now here we are. This is what, year 3 for him, and he's stepping into this offense. And I think people are overlooking, what that means. What that means for Bryce Young. Because, like I said, Jonathan Brooks, he's a talent, man. He is a talent. He's not some running back. Like I said, one of the top backs coming out. Great running vision. smooth, great patience. He's efficient. The kid is a gifted runner. Has game-breaking speed, acceleration, can break a game open, explosive playmaker. All those things, man. But for this team and this quarterback, it's not his running ability that's going to make the most impact. It's his potential as a pass catcher out the backfield. Because like I said, if you know your quarterback, if you know Bryce Young, you should know that it's vital for him to have a threat like that out of the backfield. It's imperative. And I believe that has been one of the main causes for his struggles in the passing game, him not having a pass catcher out the backfield who can make plays. We've watched it for 3 years now. We watched it this past season for all the growth that y'all want to talk about. Making the playoffs, all that. We watched how defenses played us all season long. And a lot of y'all called it hate when I kept complaining about it. You know, how defenses, they defend Bryce. Like they don't respect his ability to beat them over the top. Or, you know, they see that he plays too conservative, that he's not pushing the ball down the field. So they blitz him aggressively. It's been one of my biggest things, man, how they put that blitz on him and he's not able to make them pay by pushing the ball down the field to stop them from doing that shit to him. You know, he's going to that check down, which, you know, is not a bad play. You know, if a team puts a blitz on you and you check it down, it's not a bad decision. But if you don't have the playmakers out the backfield who's going to do something with it, then it's not efficient for us. And I think that's been the case. And I feel like if Bryce Young would drop back and get more aggressive down the field, you know, teams would stop defending him that way and would open up the game for him. And Jonathan Brooks, you plug him in, like I said, he's just not some running back. When I say he can make plays out the backfield, I'm not talking about just catching a simple dump off. No, this guy really has, you know, receiving skills out the backfield. He's a natural pass catcher. He can run angle routes, option routes, wheel routes, screens. He can split out wide. Like that's the type of running back, pass catching running back that Bryce Young thrives with. And Jonathan Brooks, like I said, he has potential as a pass catcher because if you look at his Texas numbers, the stats aren't gaudy. You know, they're not jumping off the screen, but when you watch it on the film, you can see it. It's there. And Bryce Young is a quarterback that's going to highlight that probably more than, you know, any other quarterback would. You know, it's a big part of his game, and I think it's going to be a major game changer. Plugging Brooks, you know, into those third down situations, which is another thing that, you know, y'all call me a hater for. When I criticize Bryce Young, I talk about third downs, man, because he had a lot of success on fourth downs, and you know, anytime I mention third down, because I'm like, it's cool that, you know, he had success on fourth down, man, but he has to be way better on third down. He wouldn't be, you know, fourth down situation so much. Your third down is the money down. That's the down where quarterbacks make their money. You know, when you grade these quarterbacks, you look at these quarterbacks, you got to look at what they're doing on third down. But for some reason, with Bryce Young, we don't hear too much talk about it. And then whenever I bring it up, everybody want to point fingers elsewhere. But all you Bryce Young fans, I never heard you guys mention that. Maybe a few guys, but I never heard you guys mention or complain how bad, how desperately Bryce Young needs a pass catching running back out the backfield. You know, we inserted a T Mac, we inserted an XL, a Coker. But I believe that, you know, a pass catching running back, an effective playmaker out the backfield, will help Bryce Young more than any receiver that we can bring in here. Like it's literally a game changer. It's literally the solution, man. Because when you got a Jonathan Brooks, or it ain't even got to be Jonathan Brooks, you got a good pass catcher out the backfield who can make a linebacker miss one-on-one and create yak and turn what would have been maybe a 3-4 yard game into an 8 yard game, 15 yard game, 25 yard game. That's going to make these coordinators think twice before they blitz Bryce Young so aggressively like they do, especially on third downs. That would make them hesitate, man. And then not only that, it opens up the field for the rest of the players, the rest of the receivers. It changes the spacing of the defense. Like I said, they can't blitz Bryce as aggressive. So that'll give Bryce cleaner pockets, easier reads, less pressure on him. No, and then it'll raise his completion percentage. And like I said, it opens the field up for the rest of the receivers. The routes that we don't see Bryce, you know, throwing as often as we see some of these other quarterbacks doing is because these defenses aren't defending these other quarterbacks the way that they do Bryce. So if we had a pass catching backfield, uh, a good pass catcher out the backfield, it opens up the drag routes. It opens up the crossing routes, the tight ends, shit, maybe even XL over the middle. T Mac, Coker on those underneath mouths, man. It completely opens up the game for Bryce Young to get in control of the game. Instead of the game controlling him, he can get in control of the game, man. And I think it's gonna build his confidence, you know, having a security blanket out there like Jonathan Brooks, just his presence alone, he doesn't even have to touch the ball. Just his presence in that backfield is going to change the way defenses play him without him having to touch the ball, man. And that changes the game for Bryce Young because, and this is for the Bryce, you know, the guys who don't believe in Bryce, who don't think he doesn't have the potential to become a top quarterback or be, you know, whatever you want to call it, franchise quarterback. This is something we haven't seen yet since Bryce Young has been in the NFL, and that's defenses going out there playing him honest. We don't know what that looks like yet, and that's crazy to say. Since Bryce Young has been in Carolina, defenses, not on a consistent basis, defenses do not play him honest, especially on third and long, third and medium. And I believe it's because he doesn't push the ball down the field. They don't see that as a threat. And I think having a guy like Jonathan Brooks back there with him changes that because it opens up the field. Like I said, the confidence will grow. The windows will open. He will feel more comfortable out there. Now, I'm not saying that Jonathan Brooks is going to instantly go out there and magically change our offense. But the recipe makes sense. Like y'all Bryce fans, y'all call him a point guard. If Bryce Young is a point guard, I would say he's a pick and roll point guard. A slow one that can't get to the rim. I would compare Bryce Young to Luka. So if Luka is playing a point and he's a pick and roll point and he's slow, can't get to the rim, what does he need? He needs an athletic lob threat playing next to him to put pressure on the rim for him, to open up the floor for him, to open up his mid range, to open up the kick out passes to the corners and the wings. Without that lob threat, without that athletic lob threat, they can just blitz Luka off the pick and roll and trap him in double team. This is the equivalent of that, man. Bryce Young, if he's our point guard, a pass catching running back out the backfield, that's like his pick and roll partner, man. This is his lob threat. This is what's going to get the defense. Jonathan Brooks is going to get the attention of the defense. You understand? They're going to respect him in the backfield. They're going to respect what he can do if he gets in space one-on-one with a linebacker. And I think it's a game changer for Bryce Young. And this is a very important year for him. And I think it's the timing is there. Like the timing is perfect. It's right on time for him. But if y'all enjoying the content, y'all hit the like button, sub up if you haven't. Make sure you ring that notification bell so you get all the content when it drop, man. And make sure y'all jump in the comment section, holler at me, man. If you came through and you listening to the show, man, you liking what you're hearing, or if you don't, hop in the comment section, man. Shit, say what's up. Don't come in my house and don't speak, man. Yeah, like I said, man, I think Jonathan Brooks, he'll help Bryce more than any receiver has since we came to Carolina, man. And I remember hearing, even now to this day, I still hear people complaining that we traded DJ Moore. And they was like, how you gonna trade your number one wide receiver and now you're bringing your quarterback in here with no number one? But I don't think it was ever a number one receiver that Bryce Young truly needed. I think a pass catching threat out the backfield is all he needed, man. It's all he needed, because now instead of the check down being a negative for us, man, it could be a positive where teams actually got a game plan for that. To the point where, damn, we don't want Bryce Young to check it down. We don't want him to get the ball out to Jonathan Brooks. You know what I mean? Come on now, y'all know how that could change things. And then we could see Bryce Young, because another thing that, and y'all say is hate, is the yards per attempt, ranked towards the bottom of the league. That's not good, y'all. Historically, that's not good. Quarterbacks who rank towards the bottom of the league in yards per attempt, they don't consistently win a lot of football games in the NFL. That's just a football fact. But hey, you got a Jonathan Brooks right here. Changes that, man. Like, Bryce Young, he ain't got to be Caleb Williams. He ain't got to be Pat Mahomes out there gunslinging all night long. So when I complain about his yards per attempt, I hear people ask me, well, you want Bryce Young throwing 60, 70-yard bombs? Nah, but hell, I would at least like to see him push it intermediately a little more. Those intermediate throws, he can make those. He has the arm for those throws. But he plays conservative, And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being a check down artist. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, if you can be efficient and move the ball up and down the field, which is what we struggle doing, if you can be efficient doing it, I'm cool with it. We watched Tom Brady do it for years. Kevin Falk. We watched Drew Brees do it with Darren Sproles. Hell, even Mahomes, as much of, a gunslinger that he is, he uses the check down a lot. There's nothing wrong with it, but the most important part is it's going to build Bryce's confidence, and it's going to open up. It's going to open up the field for everybody else, man. Essentially, everybody gets better, man. And I think this is right in Bryce Young's wheelhouse. So I see him taking control of it and him doing well with it. If not Haynes King, it's coming after him. But it's in Bryce Young's hands. Like I said, and we'll talk about the Haynes King shit later. But like I said, man, it's in Bryce's hands. He will be the quarterback. Game 1. Everything he needs is right in front of him. But it's going to be good to see Jonathan Brooks hit that field coming off those injuries. Like I said, he's going to be fueled. Something to prove. And I think it's going to be fun to watch. But y'all jump in the comment section and let me know what y'all think, man. Do y'all think the pass catching running back is what Bryce Young has needed this whole time? Because I do. Yeah, but y'all hit the like button, sub up, ring the notification bell, share the content, man. It's real in the field. Panther Takes and Debates. We gone, baby.
Say Woods, I got it, big bro. Feel like James Harden 2012. Way too underrated, but fuck it, oh well. Ball hard for my team, nigga, how can we fail? When there's an I in my team, got us doing so swell. No snails on the team, cause I hot point crack back shells whenever that bitch snap well. So God land fly that I drop from heaven like Jesus with pretty wings like Maxwell. Flags fell in the football league when they seen that I had what it takes to succeed. Cause they know this ain't the real Paul Y.E. In the zone like Richard Sherman, bout to go deep. In the zone like Richard Sherman, bout to go deep. I'ma kill it, I'ma make you feel it. Something like a quarterback who just got sacked by Tevin Elliott. Listen off the line of scrimmage, no disrespect to my nigga, cause we good and I fucks with him. But I kill these lines for dinner. I kill these lines for dinner. So my face on TMZ here is on Sports Center. Chances make champions. Chances make champions. I would take that chance again. Cause I am a champion. Cause I am a champion. Feel like LeBron 2009. Way too fucking good, be losing all the time. Might take my talents to South Beach just for the time. And then go back to the city and make that bitch mine. Believe Lane, Odell Beckham a bag. I'ma catch one like T.Y. Hilton and Chad. I'ma catch one like O.J. Simpson, that's bad. A murder case, I beat the one that I had. ESPN, man, this shit is a highlight. The darkness around me, I turned it to twilight. My story, I told it in full. More cameras and flashes and bundles and money to my life. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. John Stockton, my assistant. Will Chamberlain scoring. I'ma go ape shit in the morning if I wake up yawning.